You misunderstood the Odyssey book. What if getting home was harder than winning a war? The Odyssey follows the long and dangerous journey of Odysseus, a Greek hero trying to return home after the Trojan War. But this isn't just an adventure story. It's about temptation, identity, loyalty, and the struggle to stay true to yourself in a world that constantly tries to change you. Because the real question is, what does it take to truly come home? The story begins after the end of the Trojan War, with Odysseus still missing and presumed dead. In his kingdom of Ithaca, his wife Penelope and son Telemachus are surrounded by suitors, men who believe Odysseus will never return. They consume his wealth and pressure Penelope to remarry. Meanwhile, Odysseus is trapped far from home. The narrative splits between two journeys. Telemachus' journey to find news of his father, Odysseus' journey to return home. Compass Odysseus' journey. Odysseus faces a series of trials that test his intelligence, patience, and identity. The Cyclones and Lotus Eaters. Early in his journey, Odysseus and his men face enemies and temptations. The Lotus Eaters offer a fruit that causes forgetfulness, symbolizing the danger of losing purpose. The Cyclops, Polyphemus. One of the most famous episodes involves the Cyclops Polyphemus. Odysseus blinds him to escape, but his pride leads him to reveal his name. This act brings the wrath of Poseidon, making his journey even harder. Circe. The sorceress Circe turns his men into animals, but later helps Odysseus. This episode shows both danger and transformation. The Underworld. Odysseus travels to the land of the dead, gaining knowledge about his fate. This moment represents self-awareness and confrontation with mortality. The Sirens, Scylla and Charybdis. He faces deadly choices, between temptation, sirens, and unavoidable danger, Scylla and Charybdis. These moments emphasize that leadership often involves choosing the lesser evil. Calypso. Odysseus is held captive by the nymph Calypso for years. She offers him immortality, but he refuses, choosing a mortal life with Penelope instead. House return to Ithaca. After many years, Odysseus finally returns home, but in disguise. He finds his house overrun by suitors. With the help of Telemachus, he plans revenge. In a dramatic climax, Odysseus reveals his identity and kills the suitors, reclaiming his home and restoring order. The story ends with Odysseus reunited with Penelope, though she tests him to ensure he is truly who he claims to be. At its core, the Odyssey is about the journey of identity. Odysseus is not just trying to get home physically, he is trying to return to who he truly is. Throughout the story, he is constantly tested. By power be temptation be ego be suffering. Each challenge forces him to choose between becoming someone else, or staying true to himself. One of the central meanings of the epic is the idea of nostos, the Greek concept of homecoming. But home is not just a place. It is a state of belonging, identity, and purpose. Odysseus' journey shows that returning home is not simple, it requires transformation. Another key idea is the tension between fate and free will. Odysseus' journey is influenced by the gods, especially Poseidon. But his own decisions, especially his pride, also shape his fate. This suggests that life is a combination of external forces and personal choices. The epic also explores the theme of temptation versus discipline. Odysseus is repeatedly offered easier paths. Forget your journey, Lotus Eaters, stay in pleasure, Circe, become immortal, Calypso. But each time, he ultimately chooses the harder path, returning home. This reflects a universal truth, meaning often requires sacrifice. Another important meaning is the idea of loyalty. Penelope remains faithful for years, resisting pressure to remarry. Telemachus grows from a boy into a man, proving his loyalty to his father. Their patience contrasts with the chaos of the suitors. Finally, the epic is about the cost of war and heroism. Odysseus may have won the Trojan War, but the real challenge begins after. The story suggests that victory does not guarantee peace, and that the consequences of actions can last far longer than the events themselves.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.
Odysseus constantly shifts roles. Warrior leader, prisoner, wanderer, Bajar. Each role tests a different part of him. This reflects a deeper truth: identity is not fixed, it is shaped by experience. The real challenge is not change, but remembering who you are through change. 2. Intelligence versus strength. Unlike many heroes, Odysseus is defined by his mind, not his physical power. His greatest victories come from strategy, not force. This suggests that intelligence and adaptability are more valuable than brute strength. 3. Temptation and self-control. Nearly every challenge involves temptation. The Lotus Eaters, Circe, Calypso, and the Sirens all offer escape from struggle. But giving in means losing purpose. This reflects modern life, where distractions often pull people away from long-term goals. 4. Loyalty and faithfulness. Penelope's loyalty is just as heroic as Odysseus' journey. She resists pressure, using intelligence to delay the suitors. This shows that strength can take many forms, not just physical action. 5. Justice and revenge. The final act raises questions about justice. Odysseus' revenge is brutal, but seen as necessary to restore order. This reflects ancient values, but also invites modern readers to question the morality of revenge. Odysseus. He represents intelligence, resilience, and human complexity. He is not perfect, his pride causes suffering, but this makes him realistic. Penelope. She symbolizes patience, loyalty, and quiet strength. Her intelligence mirrors Odysseus, making them equals. Telemachus. He represents growth and transition. His journey shows the process of becoming, moving from uncertainty to confidence. Poseidon. He represents uncontrollable forces, nature, fate, and consequence. The sea represents chaos and uncertainty. It constantly challenges Odysseus, reflecting life's unpredictability. Disguises. Odysseus often hides his identity. This symbolizes the idea that identity is not always visible, and must be proven through actions. The bow. The bow that only Odysseus can string represents legitimacy and true identity. It proves who he really is. What actually happens? Odysseus returns home, kills the suitors, and reunites with Penelope. Why it really happens? Because the journey is about restoring order, not just physically, but morally and emotionally. Odysseus must reclaim his identity and place in the world. What the ending means, deep interpretation. Interpretation 1, Restoration of Identity. Odysseus finally becomes who he was meant to be. Interpretation 2, The Cost of Return. He returns home, but not unchanged. The journey has shaped him permanently. Interpretation 3, Order versus Chaos. The killing of the suitors represents the restoration of balance. Hidden message. The story suggests that life is not about avoiding struggle, but about enduring it and returning stronger. Alternate interpretation. Some interpretations see the ending as ambiguous. Is Odysseus truly at peace, or will conflict continue? This raises questions about whether home is ever permanent. Final thoughts. The Odyssey is one of the oldest stories ever told, but its message is timeless. It reminds us that life is a journey filled with challenges, choices, and transformation. And sometimes, the hardest part is not getting lost, but finding your way back.
Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exciting discoveries.